Storytelling is something that is universally loved. From movies to books to music, people love experiencing good stories, and it is something that has always brought people together. But I believe there is one medium of storytelling that is, in my opinion, the best at it: video games. And there is one game in particular I will be using to back up this statement. A dark, gloomy card game called Inscryption.
Okay, time to figure out what's on this thing.
Now, this video will be both me gushing about how much I love this game, but also why I believe Inscryption uses the video game format to great effect in its storytelling and world building. Now, I like card games. I play a ton of Hearthstone. Or, I should say I suffer through a lot of Hearthstone, because I'm still trying to figure out who at Blizzard thought Demon Hunter was a balanced class to add to the game. Why are these cards a thing? Demon Hunter. And I also love roguelikes, Risk of Rain 2 being one of my favorite games of the past few years. So, I decided to buy this game, as it was on sale for only $13, and hey, that's a great steal, and I needed something new to play. So, I purchased, downloaded, and booted up the game, and immediately I knew I was in for a great experience the minute I saw the starting screen. As you can see, there is no Start New Game option. The button is blackened out and unable to be clicked. The only option you have to click is the Continue button, which is already very strange. And when you click this button, you are greeted with this. You are thrown into a dark, mysterious cabin with a creepy, sinister man hidden in shadows. He commands you to play his game, and after a quick refresher, you begin to play almost as if you have done this 100 times before. The deck you use is comprised completely of beasts and insects. Only the wild animals of the forest are at your disposal. And to play these cards, you must sacrifice lesser creatures to summon more powerful ones. This is a very interesting and engaging mechanic, as it requires you, the player, to make hard decisions of when it is the right time to sacrifice your current board to possibly build a stronger one. Now, as you explore the game map, you will find certain events that can power up your deck. These range from a campsite that can raise one of your beast's base stat line, at the risk of it being eaten by the campers, a trapper who will sell you pelts that can later be sold to get more minions, or, my personal favorite, a sacrifice stone that lets you sacrifice one of your minions and grants its special ability to another. These events are randomly generated on the map, and you will have to decide what direction to go and what buffs will best benefit your deck. Also, your Stoat card can talk. That is quite interesting. But something interesting happens when you lose your first battle. The mysterious man will tell you to get up from the table and fetch the candles in another part of the cabin, and you stand up and find yourself able to explore his small cabin. All of this brings me to my first point on video games and Inscryption: immersion and captivating players. The moment you enter this game, you are immersed in the setting and the atmosphere. The music is soft and unnerving. The cabin is dark and creaks with the wind, and the man is a truly unsettling sight as he gazes across the table at you with his glowing orange eyes. Good video games are masters of immersing you into an entirely different world, as it takes your attention to the next level. Instead of just watching or reading a story and seeing the characters in third person, you're in it, and it is up to you to call the shots and make your moves. Every card you pick, every buff you pick, every path you pick, and every monster you slay is your decision. And this continues to drive your interest in the game. After you grab the candlestick and return to the table, the man explains you have 2 lives before he must execute you, and the game continues. You will explore and battle your way through the game, fighting his bosses: the Prospector, the Angler, and the Trapper. But eventually, through all these battles, you will meet your end, and the man will grab you and put you into a side room. It is here the man will have you create a card in memoriam of yourself. Using the cards you have collected throughout your run, you will construct your perfect death card before naming it. At which point, the man will take out a camera and then you are teleported back to the game table and play again from the beginning. So many questions, so little answers. As you play and explore the room, you will unlock more secrets. You will find other talking cards. Along with the stoat you started the game with, you will also find the stink bug and the stunted wolf. All these cards talk. Not only that, they seem to know one another, and they also seem to know the man you are playing against. He apparently trapped these individuals in cards and made them beasts to be used in his game. These talking cards will direct you and drop hints to further your escape, but this isn't as easy as it seems. You will lose, and lose, and lose again, each time making a new death card, but also getting closer to revealing the truth as you explore the cabin. This brings me to my second point: rewarding play and the satisfaction of gaining answers. In other media, you may know what the answer to something is already, but the characters don't. And while it can be engaging to watch the characters solve it by themselves, you really had nothing to do with it in the end. But in video games, it's completely different. In Inscryption, you have to find these talking cards. You have to complete these puzzles and find the clues. And by completing the puzzles, I mean Googling the solution because you have no idea how these puzzles work and you spent like 15 minutes clicking on random buttons until you eventually just gave up. Every time you do find something, or find a new solution to something, it feels great. It feels like you outsmarted the game, or found the next great piece to the puzzle, which drives you forward to keep playing the game. After some searching, you will find a roll of film hidden in a cuckoo clock, which you learn about by cutting your eye out and replacing it with a robo-eye. Yeah, this game is it's pretty fucked up. The stunted wolf tells you to save it for later. But once you finally beat all of the man's bosses, you will finally face him in a boss battle, where he drops the fucking moon on you. Holy shit. And once you beat this man, another strange thing happens.
Oh my, I think I just beat him. Oh.
The camera falls back. After that, a collection of videos pop up, and they are all filmed by a man named Luke, who is a card collector who makes videos on card unpacking. This is very strange at first, and you are confused at what this has to do with the story. But as you find a video where Luke opens 3 packs of inscription cards...
Hey there, card gamers! I'm the Lucky Carter, and this is a vintage pack opening video. Today I'm opening a few super rare old packs I snagged at a garage sale. I've got 4 packs of Inscryption. You would not believe the deal I got on these. Now, not all of you will even remember this game. I'm barely old enough to have seen these going around in my childhood. For whatever reason, they only did 1 set of these cards and then stopped printing them. There's not a huge market for them anymore, but at the rate I got them for, there's not really much to lose. That being said, a foil Mantis God goes for a couple $100, so fingers crossed. Really cool art on these. Definitely stands the test of time. And our rare for this pack is Blue Mage. Cool looking card, but not going to be worth very much. Alright. Let's see what we got going on in the second pack. This pack has been opened and resealed. Hope no one snuck a rare out of it. That would suck. Come on, people, honestly. Who opens and reseals a pack? There's a set of coordinates on this card. Looks like they were drawn on with a pen. 49 degrees north, 123 degrees west. I think I'd have to check, but I think that's pretty nearby. I give a 75% chance it's a rock. But only one way to find out. What? There's actually something here. What? What the fuck? Guys, are you seeing this? I'm a little confused.
So many more questions, and you can't even really figure out what it means before you are taken back to the man's cabin, where he congratulates you on beating him. He takes you to the side room to make you a champion picture, but you are able to snatch the camera and load it with film you found in the cuckoo clock. And to his surprise, you are able to snap a picture of the man, trapping him in a card. And that is when you find the new game button. Now, you can start the new game, and you learn about 4 scribes in the game's opening. These 4 scribes created the cards of inscription until one day someone came to take one of the scribes' spots. You. You are sent into a 2D world where you can pick a deck to play around based on one of the 4 scribes. And you are sent out to challenge each of them. You go to the old cabin, which you now know is Leshy's cabin. You go to an old crypt, where Grimoire waits, a large factory, where PO3 is seen scanning robots, and a massive tower, where Magnificus dwells. You will find other characters you meet, but one in particular stands out. The woodcarver woman, who tells you that she has seen something called the Old Data. This old data holds all the secrets about Inscryption, but she chooses to tell you nothing more. You fight through these scribes' guardians and collect more cards than what you had at the start of the game. Leshy's beasts are present, but now there are robots that use power, undead that use bones, and wizards that use different gems to power themselves. It appears Leshy was just one of the 4 major deck archetypes, and the cards you played with at the start were just a fraction of all the cards you could play in the game. Not only that, but you realize that the other scribes look an awful lot like the talking cards you found in Leshy's cabin. The Stoat looks like PO3, the Stink Bug looks like Grimoire, and the Stunted Wolf looks like Magnificus. And, eventually, you piece together that it was in fact them that were trapped in the cards by Leshy. But how? Why would Leshy do this in the first place? And how does Leshy seem to have no memory of his actions once you start a new game? As you beat the scribes, new videos of Luke will show up, showing his confusion and determination to figure out what Inscryption is. All the while, he seems to be watched by someone or something trying to stop him from learning about the game's secrets.
Mr. Carter, we have received your inquiry regarding the digital version of our intellectual property Inscryption. I can assure you that no such software exists in any official form. However, if you have indeed come into possession of proprietary game-fuel hardware, you are compelled to return it to us under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. The hardware will be considered stolen if it is not returned to us within a reasonable time frame. Please carefully package the hardware and paste the attached shipping label to the front of the box. You may mail the package at a local post office. We would like to avoid taking legal action in your case, so please do not delay in returning the proprietary software. Sincerely, Game Funa, Customer Happiness Department. What the fuck? Someone is here. Fuck this. My phone's in the other room, so if I die before I can call 911, use this tape as evidence.
After you beat all 4 scribes, you will return to the starting position and challenge one of the scribes to replace them. But no matter who you choose, PO3 will steal the battle and force you to fight him, where he summons a strange glitch card that once you hit, glitches your game out drastically. You wake up. You are in a new room with PO3 staring at you. PO3 welcomes you to his factory. His version of Inscryption. His game. Now, you must play PO3's version of Inscryption and help him complete something called the Great Transcendence. PO3's version of Inscryption is familiar, but new. Instead of beasts that use blood sacrifices, you now use robots that use a power system. There are new abilities and buffs for you to take advantage of, and the way the actual game is laid out isn't like Leshy's at all. Instead of playing a roguelike run, where when you die you start at the beginning again, if you die in PO3's game, you lose all your money and all enemies respawn, but you will simply respawn at a checkpoint and have to defeat the enemy encounters again. Also, the world map is set with specific locations and not random ones. This lighter, more forgiving way of play seems to work in PO3's favor, as he wants you to complete the Great Transcendence, but he also wants you to struggle a little bit. You will also notice that unlike Leshy, PO3 is much more concerned about the rules and balance of the game, opposed to Leshy, who appeared to care more about storytelling than the balance of his game. You will also explore PO3's factory and find the Angler and the Lonely Wizard, both who used to be allies and guardians of Leshy and Magnificus. These two have been placed into cards similar to the scribes and turned into robots. As you explore PO3's map, you will find 4 bosses, which you need to defeat to proceed with the Great Transcendence. These being the Photographer, the Archivist, the Painter, and Golly. Each of these uber boss bot battles are found in 4 different regions around the map, each based off one of the 4 scribes. As you beat these bosses, more videos of Luke show up. These videos show him actively losing his mind and his sanity as stranger and stranger things begin to happen to him. One of the things that he learns about is a woman named Casey, who worked on the game, but died in a mysterious fire.
Hello? Hi, hello, is this Mrs. Hobbs? Hi, my name is Luke. Well, it's very nice to speak with you as well, Mrs. Hobbs. Listen, I was at your garage sale the other day and No, everything's fine, thank you. I was just wondering if you remember those playing cards that you sold me? Those... Yes, those ones. Inscryption, yes. They were your daughter's? Would it be possible for me to speak with her? She passed, isn't she? Oh, no, I'm so sorry. Oh, it was a while ago. That's still terrible. Oh, it's nothing really. I'm sorry to have bothered you, ma'am. Her name was Casey. That's a lovely name. Sorry, what? She worked for Inscryption? I mean, she worked for Gang Funa? Ma'am, would it be possible... I see. Okay, yeah. Do you think it'd be alright if I called you back later? I'm just trying to get to the bottom of something. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. All right, have a good dinner. Bye. These articles mention death or injury. Oh my god. No one was killed at the facility, though tragically young video game developer Casey Hobbs died from fire-related complications. Fuck. She was working late at the facility, performing quality assurance on behalf of her employer, Game Fuma.
Once all these bosses are beaten, you arrive back at the starting location, and PO3 begins the Great Transcendence, where he tells you that by playing his game, you have allowed him to upload Inscryption for the entire world to play, where in all of them, he is in charge. He also reveals that this entire time, you were playing as Luke. Even if the scribes set the game back to normal, there would be so many versions of Inscryption out there that PO3 would always be on top. But thankfully, Leshy sneaks behind PO3 and... Now the scribes want to reset the game once more, and maybe this time, things will be alright. But Grimoire has other plans as she takes the files you granted the game access to, and begins to delete Inscryption. Leshy and Magnificus recoil at what Grimoire has done, but she assures them that this is for the best, and will end the vicious cycle between the scribes. And the player is teleported again to a dark crypt. Here, you fight Grimoire, but only for a moment, as you barely taste her version of Inscryption before she is deleted, after a very funny boss battle joke. Then, you face off against Leshy in his cabin, who only seems to want to play a good game with you. And you can't help but feel sad. Leshy never really seemed evil. He was just doing his job, keeping PO3 and Inscryption secrets locked up. He was doing this so PO3 couldn't complete his plan, and the old data could never be found. Leshy never really killed you, as you would always respawn to face him again. And you learned that he was only having you make death cards as a fun sort of flavor to his game. He was never actually executing you. You slowly play against Leshy as the table is slowly deleted, until finally the game ends, and Leshy is deleted as well, after saying, "Good game." Then finally you face off against Magnificus, who says you can still fix this and stop playing the game. Remove the disc, so to speak. But Magnificus knows you won't take that option, as you want to know what happens next as the player. You've gotten this far. You've solved all the riddles. You want to know what the answer to Inscryption is. One final, epic mage battle as the world slowly deletes around Magnificus, until finally he is deleted as well. This brings me to my final point about how your actions feel real and have a weight. You are revealed to be playing as Luke, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that all of this feels like you are doing. Your want to learn more. You needed to win. You need to figure out the solution to the game. The things that you did almost caused PO3 to win and upload Inscryption, and ended with the other 3 scribes being deleted, with Leshy and Magnificus being deleted against their will. In other works of media, when characters make mistakes, it's easy to just laugh and joke at their stupidity, or roll your eyes at their poor choices. But in video games like Inscryption, all you can do is watch as your mistakes cost the lives of other characters you spent all this time learning about. Your actions have consequences, and no other medium besides video games can express the guilt and remorse you feel when the actions you take during the story ends with other characters suffering. But now you did it. You beat the game and solved the mystery, and now you get your reward, as you find a glitched file called old data. And once you open it, what do you find?
Yes, thank you so much for getting back to me.
No problem, Luke. If I understand you correctly, you've got some video footage that might expose some malpractice on the part of a game publisher,
Yes, that's right. Firstly, I have a game of theirs that took control of my PC for a bit, which can't be legal, and then this woman from the company came to my house, and she...
Okay, hold on a second. Let me just get my pen and pad here, okay. Okay, so you have a game of theirs that took, was it a virus or something?
I told you!
This is an abrupt ending. A confusing ending. You felt so close to the end, and did so much work. But in the end, Luke's death feels like your loss. And as for Game Funa, and who they were, we may never know. What the old data truly was, we may never know. And what happened to Casey, we may never know. but you did your part. You played the game and beat the other scribes. And in the end, all you have to show is your remembrance of the story and your save file of the game. Your Inscryption.
Just edit this out. Hello, everyone, all my lovely viewers. My name is Desi, and welcome back to another card unpacking video. And today I got something really, really special for you guys. I was able to find this on the local market. I've got a genuine pack of Inscryption cards. Now, these are super duper rare. In fact, these haven't been in production in, I think, about 10 years or something. Super duper rare vintage pack. You would not believe how much money I had to shell out for this. And if you guys notice, this I think is a beast pack. So primarily beast cards, really cool. We're just gonna get into it and see what we get. Hoping for a foil Mantis God. Heard that one can go for a couple bucks these days. Pretty good stuff. Alright. Really, really pretty artwork on these. Alright. First card we got. Raven. It's a nice card. It's got the flight ability. To attack 3 health. 2 blood. Pretty good. Next, we got Wolf Cub. Actually one of my favorite cards. Always wanted this one when I was growing up, but never seemed to get it. Next. Energy Bot. That must be our specific non-beast card for this. Classic Stoat. Very classic card. Not that powerful, but it's a classic. That's odd. There's coordinates on this. Someone scribbled all over it. It's just a regular Mantis, but 32?